Right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. So we're just going to be talking Black Adam. There's some interesting things happening with Black Adam. So it's actually done mildly okay for its first 2 opening days. Not sure how they're calculating it. This isn't me dunking on Black Adam, by the way. I've done my review and it was entertaining. It was entertaining enough. But one thing I found really interesting, which I tweeted about, so if you don't follow me over on Twitter, please do. But it was this. So Black Adam earns $13.8 million in its first 2 days at the international box office from 57 markets. That's a lot of markets. But I'm not overly sure how it's calculating that, because this was released yesterday. This thread here was released yesterday. But it was in the UK anyway. Black Adam was released yesterday. So although it sounds like a wide variety of markets, it's not that they've been available for 2 days to watch this film. So I found that to be really, really interesting. Because again, and as someone even rightly points out, is that, you know, it's still Friday in most of Europe and Africa, and the movie has been out for basically 12 hours since cinemas open around 11 AM. How is it 2 days? Unless they're calculating it being out and available domestically, so US, within that time frame as well, which they could very well be, by the way. It's important to note they could actually be calculating that as well. Just as an FYI, although I've released my review, you can see a live discussion with Andre from Midnight Edge straight out the theatre over on my second channel, Mistakes Reviews Live Archives. It's linked down below in the description box. Please do head on over there, support that channel, support the very interesting discussions with fellow creators as well as industry professionals that will be heading on over there. So it's in the description box. So obviously it did reasonably well in terms of its, you know, $13.8 million international. But apparently it did actually take $7.6 million just on Thursday. Which maybe they're calculating that as its first 2 days of release, because it was available in Thursday on the US as well. But 7.6 million is pretty good. You know, it's not like gangbusters, but for a Thursday, not terrible. It does have to make back quite a lot of money. So it'll be interesting. Look, you know, Deadline reports that Black Adam managed to earn 7.6 million from Thursday previews. That's a personal best for Dwayne Johnson, so he'll be happy with that. And interestingly, you know, Fast and Furious 6 only took 7.5 million. Now this is a solid start, and that's one, you know, seen at the top. So, Ant-Man took 6.4 million, and then obviously went on to take more money. Same with Shazam, 5.9 million. No Time to Die, 5.6 million. They're not necessarily great ones to quote, but, you know, whatever. Weekend estimates have now dipped a little. So, you know, the opening estimate was going to be around $70 million. Now it's dropped to $60 million. So that's quite surprising, I think. Now, Johnson's talked a lot about wanting to keep Black Adam separate from Shazam. But this movie now looks set to earn only slightly more than that blockbuster, which took 53.5 million opening weekend. I don't know why they want to keep it separate. Black Adam and Shazam are one and the same. They should be, well, not one and the same, but you get my point now. They are part of the same franchise, so it seems odd. Now, interestingly, obviously, the Rotten Tomatoes score is a point of contention for a lot of people. I don't really care about Rotten Tomatoes, but it's an interesting indicator. But that's actually skyrocketed now in terms of the audience scores. So I thought that was interesting anyway, because it is interesting. But perhaps one of the most interesting things I've seen comes to us from my friends over at Bleeding Fool, and they tweeted this out, and I don't know quite what to make of it, because it's doing, I mean, it's not doing amazing, but it's not doing terrible in terms of box office numbers. But they tweeted this out and says, an unexpected but bold strategy for the Black Adam marketing department. Let's see how it works out for them. It's almost as if they're really worried, because this is just like, you know, this is a reviewer, and they're promoting it. Official promotion. Now, I get it, but that does seemingly make them in cahoots. You know? it's a bit odd. And sure, in cahoots, yeah. And again, this is, you know, from known shill Stephen Weintraub of Collider. Again, Black Adam movie promoted. It does make me go, aha. I think you're, and again, another one. Just out of Black Adam. Promoted by Black Adam movie. They would have had to have signed an agreement for this, by the way, just as an FYI. So it does make me think that they're really concerned about this movie. Which makes me think maybe they intentionally leaked the whole Superman thing. Because of course, Superman turns up at the end. It's out there. Everyone knows it. Because, you know, even Dwayne Johnson's been talking about it doing the press tours as well. But then they're coming out saying, oh, producer's really frustrated by the cameo leak. Ugh. I don't think they are. Hiram Garcia expresses frustration. He says, oh my god, it's so frustrating. You work so hard, but look, we understand that this ending and this dream, this family dream that we had to bring to life, we knew that it was going to have an effect on the fans that were just like, oh my god, we heard them begging for it for so long. I don't know. I reckon this is a little bit of that sort of guerrilla marketing. This stuff is odd, really, really odd. Because these people would have had to have signed an agreement for that. So that's really odd. Being promoted there. And I don't know how that's going to go for them. Because it's not a good look. Having, I don't know, promoting critic reviews. It's not a good look. People don't really trust critics that much anymore. But it has gone up. In terms of its audience score. So 90%. But not many people. It seems to me like a lot of people that watch this movie tend to think it's alright. And then outside of that, not a lot of people are, you know, massively rushing out to see it. But it is going up. Audience score is going up. 44% tomato meter. I think that's the lowest Rotten Tomatoes score for a DC. Yeah, for a DC movie. But there you go, ladies and gents. So, double-edged sword. We're talking reasonable cash. Not amazing. Reasonable cash. 57 markets. Don't think that's something too much to be worried about. But it seems that Black Adam and DC is worried about it. Because that's an odd tactic to stop promoting critics' tweets. So let me know what you guys think. This is not me dunking on the film. I've done my review. This is me just talking about it because I think this is interesting. And yeah, I think my review is the most egregious one you could probably get because it was just middling. It was like, yeah, it was entertaining enough. It's not amazing, not terrible. It's entertaining. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Take care.